If you've always wanted to build your own transport rides in Planet Zoo, this tutorial is for you. We're gonna dive into transport rides and how you can create them and customize them for your guests. So let's dive in. You can find transport rides in Planet Zoo by going to the Facilities tab, and then here you will have all selected by default, but you can filter them by clicking here on Transport Rides. Basically, we have the Transport 4x4 Adventure Tour. We have the Transport Monorail, which is super nice. We have the Transport Riverboat, which you might have seen me use in the South America Zoo that I'm working on. We have the Transport Small Steam Train, which is super nice. And we also have the Transport Suspended Gondola. So let's begin. Let's check out how you can do this with the Transport 4x4 Adventure Tour, and they all basically work the same. First, you have to place down the main station. We have this one over here, the main station. I'm going to place it a little bit more separate from the path so we have some space to turn around, because you will immediately see this, like this green track over here is giving you a preview of the next track that you're gonna build. We have these 4 options, and here we see many additional options. I'm gonna walk you through that. First, this one is telling you the angle of your path. This one, you can use it to make a little bit of a curvy path. I think the maximum here is 90 degrees. Okay, then you have this one, which is like tilting the track, but this only works if you have an elevated path. You can elevate it like this, and you can choose how elevated the path is. So you can make it like steeper, or you can make it a little bit of a nice curve so people don't get dizzy. Then once the path is elevated, you can turn it around and you can tilt it if you want. So I'm gonna show you this. You can see the angle over here, how we are tilting the track. 12 degrees is basically what we can do for this ride. Maybe other rides will have different degrees, with different like maximum values for this. So this one is for rotating, this one is for elevating, this one is for tilting, and this one over here at the bottom is for making the track, the piece, a little bit shorter or longer based on your needs. You can extend it or shorten it. Those are the 4 options. Here in the track editor, we see these 2 options, station and utilities. Utilities is the standard track over here, and you also have the standard track with railings. This one will have railings for additional security for your guests. I'm going to place this over here so you can see the difference. This is with railings and this is without railings. You can choose whatever you want for your specific ride. I think railings may interfere with the experience a little bit of actually seeing the animals up close, but they can be more secure for your guests. Now, right now, we can either build the track over here by pressing enter. This is another way to build the track. You can press enter and the process will be faster. You can also click on it, or you can click on this button. That will build the track itself. You have the option to auto-complete the track over here. This will work sometimes depending on the path that you're currently building for your track or not. Right now, the angle would be too pronounced. So if I click here on autocomplete, well, it did work. Surprisingly, sometimes it doesn't work. So we might autocomplete this and just click here on this button, and this will autocomplete the track of our Jeep. Really nice, right? We can choose if we want to smooth all or if we want to smooth banking. I'm going to smooth all, so it's a little bit smoother. We can also smooth the banking, which is basically like the tilting. We can delete specific tracks as well with this button if we select them. Once we have the track already built, you have the option to select a specific piece of the track or a specific segment of the track. You can also expand it. If you want to expand your selection, you can click here. You can hold with the left mouse button, and that will continue selecting the next track as you move your mouse. So that will select a specific segment of the track, and you can smooth it with this option. Really nice. Very helpful for these tracks. Great. So, oops. Okay, great. Now we're gonna click on the station itself. In this station category over here, we have 4 different options. Station entry left, exit left, a station entry left, exit right, a station entry right, exit left, and station entry right, exit right. So basically we have all the different combinations that we want based on where we want the guest to enter or exit the station. Right now I'm going to keep it in entry left, exit left, I think, or maybe right. Yeah, you can have a reference of where the guests are going to enter, where you can see this over here. This is like the main operation center for the staff. I'm gonna keep it right over here. You can also see the different adjustments that you can make while you're placing the tracks. Right now we didn't use them, but you also have like angle snap, just like you have for the path segments. You have auto tunnel if you want to create a tunnel in between the mountains or below the mountains or through the mountains. Then we have the height markers, track supports. If you want to have track supports, I'm gonna show you this right here. If you want to have track supports, you will have like these little pillars below them when they are elevated. But if you don't want to have them, you just uncheck this option and you won't have track supports in that segment. You can also expand the segment with the selection over here and uncheck this and you won't have any track supports anymore. I do personally like the track supports unless they interfere with the actual view or the actual idea that I'm creating. So yeah, I usually like to keep the supports on for more realism because they are needed for actually sustaining the path when it's elevated. Great, you also have the camera, which is a different tool. You have the free camera, you have attach and rotate, and dynamic. This is basically how the camera will move as you create the tracks. You're welcome to try all the different options. Like for this one, we used attach, so the camera moved as we placed the tracks. This is basically the default mode and the one that I usually like to use. You also have different options for the colors. You can customize the support colors, the track colors, and they have different color channels. Let's say that I want to select all the ride, the entire ride. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to select the entire ride like this. And I'm going to change the track color to blue and the other one to blue. So now you will see the difference. Notice the difference. Now the rail itself is blue, but I can change this anytime. If you leave the ride, if you deselect the ride and then you click on it again, you will see something like this little panel with an overview. You will see the station list, where you have the different stations of your ride, because you can have multiple stations, maybe where people enter when they exit. Well, right now we only have one station, station 15. And here we have the different options, which include selecting, saving as blueprint, and 2 of the most important ones here are edit track and ride camera. Edit track will basically take you to the tools that we had when we built the ride, so you can edit them however you like. Let's say that I want to change the blue color over here. Well, I'm going to change it to something like a dark red or magenta. And over here, I'm going to change these to orange. And basically, I have these colors. Really nice, right? Awesome. So now I can see that my station is unpowered. Transport rides need power. So I'm going to go here to the utilities. And I'm going to place a solar panel. First, I'm going to connect it with a path. Over here, I'm going to make like this little entrance. This is very simple, okay? I'm not focusing on the aesthetics here, just to make it functional. And for guests to enter the ride, they need to have a queue. But first, we're gonna place the facilities. This will be a solar panel. Then we have the queue. And how can we place the queue? Well, we need to click on the ride, click on the station, and then we see the station requirements. Place or move the entrance, place or move the exit, and connect the entrance to the path. We have to meet those 3 requirements to start testing our ride. I'm going to place or move the entrance by clicking here. So I'm going to place the entrance here. I'm going to place the exit here, because remember that we chose to enter and exit on the right. You can choose either one of the 4 combinations. And we are going to connect the entrance to the path, which is a queue that you are going to get by default. You can change the aspect of the queue like this. And then you will need to connect your exit to the path, which is a normal path, is not a queue, like this. And this is basically how we are going to meet all the station requirements. Really nice, right? Now we have our 3 station requirements completed. It is closed. We see the overview of this. These numbers will change when we open the transport ride. We see the ride statistics. We also see the load rules, which are very important. Like we have some default ones, but you can customize them. We can set the minimum rider load to start. We can set it at any load, so the Jeep will start the tour with any load, or we can set full load or something in between. We also have the option to change the minimum wait time and the maximum wait time. 60 seconds, 110 seconds. We can also disable this if we don't want to have a minimum or maximum wait time. And the minimum departure interval. This is helpful based on how many Jeeps we have, on how many elements we have for the ride, like the gondolas or the trains. And we can also set this, don't block station. Arriving vehicles will override the minimum rider load, as well as the minimum and maximum waiting times. So this can increase yearly guests, and the minimum departure interval must also have elapsed. You can play around with these settings to see if they fit your needs, but they're very interesting. We also see the mechanics or the ride maintenance statistics, how many routine visits we want to have, if we want to call the mechanic, the current status of the ride, because we will need a mechanic, and if we want to add this to a work zone. I'm going to add it to the work zone. Let's go to my work zones over here. I'm going to add it to the all work zones. Right here we add the station, and by adding the station it will be part of the work zone. You can see that it's part of this over here. Ride stations, station 15, it's over here. It's part of this. And I'm going to add the solar panel here as well. Great. So now we have this, and I'm going to start testing it. And one of the best parts about these rides is that we have a ride camera. So we can have a cinematic ride. We can also take a seat in the ride, like this. Really nice. So we can actually be in our guest's shoes. And we also have an interest camera, which is my personal favorite because we can see the Jeep like in a third person mode. I do like this one. It's great for cinematics as well. If we want to leave that mode, we just click on the X here. We are testing the ride, and we usually want to test it like once. I don't think in Planet Zoo it's strictly necessary to test the ride, but at least I like to try it once. And then we can see this, and we can open it by clicking here. You will see these little like confetti. It's a really awesome detail that they've added. And we see the queue assistant over here, the ride ticket booth assistant. We can change the staff uniforms to match the colors. We have the recent colors over here. We have magenta, we have orange. We can change the color of the shoes and basically go crazy with these colors. In this case, we are using the Jeep, but we also have the transport monorail. You can see that they work exactly the same. The transport riverboat, which can be in water. So I tried that. If you want to check that out, I have one in my South America zoo. We also have the steam train, and we have the suspended gondola. I personally love the suspended gondolas in real life and in the game. You're very welcome to try them out. So to end this little tutorial, I'm going to end with the ride camera. I'm going to start the test, and I'm going to thank you. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And if you want more Planet Zoo videos and tutorials, please check out my channel. You're very welcome, and I will see you in the next video.